have an early trade to announce. The Atlanta Hawks trade the draft rights to Luka Doncic, the third pick, to the Dallas Mavericks.
Thomas with the leg.
What is up, guys? This is Darreck Kirby, aka DDP, back again with my co-host Enyi and Duka to talk a little bit of Mavs draft. Now, at this point, we actually get to grade the draft, which is a nice change of pace.
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
After I felt like years.
Dude, you've been
research.
Yeah, you've been all over the draft for some time now. I know we didn't have a whole lot of shows ahead of time with you breaking stuff down, but you were definitely texting me all the time with breakdowns, letting me know who you thought the Mavs would have to really compete with for that premier pick. Yep. I know we were both high on Michael Porter Jr., but that is not who the Mavs go with. Although there was talk even up until draft day he could have gone as high as second. So.
Yeah, and
it wasn't misguided.
That could have been smokescreen. Could end up going 14th. But at the end of the day, the Mavs get their guy. They get the guy they've wanted. And apparently, according to Twitter, they got the guy that we all wanted.
Yeah.
Everyone's really excited. Everyone's so excited that even my mom knew. Like, people, she was like, "Who is it that we drafted?" Because everyone's like super excited about it. I'm just like, okay, people are really happy about this pick. But we get the man Luka Doncic out of Real Madrid,
Slovenia
with the hot.
The hot mom, yes, sirree.
Give her the
Good
front row tickets, the front row tickets.
That is absolutely challenging for hottest mom in the NBA.
Yeah, really loud.
It occurs to me I should also have my chat open here, just in case people are actually in here and participating.
All right, cool. So yeah, we got our guy. You know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, full disclosure, I was really wanting Michael Porter. I knew his upside would have been something cool for the Mavs to have because we never had a scoring, wing with that type of upside. I know we had Josh Howard or whatever, but Josh Howard was about 6'7". In my mind, back in the day, 6'7" was a shooting guard size because I was just done looking at Michael Finley for his career. But we never had.
Finley wasn't short though. He was what, 6'4"?
Who?
Finley?
He was 6'7".
Finley was 6'7". Okay, I thought you were implying that Finley was a short one, and so you were done looking at those.
Yeah, so I was used to Michael shooting guards being 6'7".
Gotcha, that was your standard.
And so when they said Josh Howard was a small forward at 6'7", I was like, well, he's pretty small. I was young, I didn't really know. I also thought all centers needed to be 7'6". Because that was Sean Bradley.
Yeah, that's a bad barometer, though.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's all I knew at the time. That's when I started watching. The only centers pretty much I knew are Sean Bradley, Yao Ming. So I was like, well, if you're 7 foot, you're short for the center position.
Yep.
So, and that's all I knew. But we got Luka, 6'8", 230.
Yep.
Handles the ball.
Dude, he handles the ball like a point guard, even though he can play. I've heard 1 through 4. I don't want to see 4. I just want to see 1 through 3.
I don't feel like he has the
strength
to handle.
So the Mavericks got their guy, the guy that they always viewed. Of the 3 that I said I wanted, I specifically named Luka Doncic. Yeah. So I specifically mentioned Luka Doncic. Although I even said multiple times, I don't think they're going to get him because I don't. This was where I was wrong. I didn't think Dallas was willing to move up to get him. I thought the cost was going to be too high, and as a result, they were going to stick with what was either there at 4 or 5. I thought they would move up to 4.
Initially, what the Hawks wanted was too high. So
yes.
When it was being reported, it was reported that the Hawks wanted Wes Matthews and they're going to trade us Kent Bazemore.
Yep.
Which
I honestly wouldn't have hated from a player standpoint, but it's not a great contract.
Yeah, contract. He said 2 years left while we have Wes Matthews expiring contract.
Yes.
And if that was the end all be all, we probably would have never got Michael Beasley. We probably would have ended up with Mo Bamba on our team, and I probably wouldn't have been.
Probably wouldn't have gotten Michael Beasley. Is that what you just said?
No, that's a Mo
you
Bamba.
said Michael Beasley.
I said Mo Bamba.
Yeah, I definitely heard Michael Beasley.
No, I said something else.
I think you were reading the comment.
Yo, why are we talking about Michael Beasley? That's funny.
Shout out Brian Cruz, Virginia's finest, and Kid OSU.
That is funny as heck, Michael Beasley. Anyway, but yeah, and just watching his highlights, man, he's definitely a Rick Carlisle type guy.
Oh yeah, dude is a phenomenal playmaker. Gets his teammates involved, makes them better. I think
high IQ.
Yes, very good basketball IQ.
If you want to get playing time as a youngin for a Rick Carlisle team, you got to be really good defensively or really smart. So
yeah,
definitely. I mean, defensively, that's one of his one of the things we're worried about. But I think he has the tools to probably make it up. If you look at the Stepien, everyone do yourselves a favor. Yeah, that was a nice pass. Everyone do yourself a favor. Look up the Stepien or some of their podcasts. Cole Zick.
What's that podcast?
The Stepien.
The Stepien.
Also, Ode to Odin. They've done extensive research on Luka Doncic. So all the concerns that we hear about,
Shout out Barry B.
Yeah, all the stuff that we hear about him not being good at defense. They've actually done a lot of research and they have stuff to the contrary.
I was going to say, I don't think he's a bad defender. I think his only problem is that with smaller defenders, sometimes they can blow past him.
Oh yeah. So that's probably going to be a concern, but we have the free agency period to kind of handle that from that point. So I mean, let's kind of talk about it. Your thoughts?
Oh, Silver and Blue booked Marcus Mosier for next week.
Nice.
That's what's up.
Marcus Mosier.
Bleacher Report.
From Bleacher Report. But anyway, so they're kind of trying to take us through. What's your thoughts?
Well, like I said, my thoughts regarding it. I would have told you before the draft, and I think I mentioned it in a couple of videos. Of the three guys I wanted for Dallas, I said Luka Doncic, I said Michael Porter Jr. Now, Porter Jr. was my favorite. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie that. I'm not going to try and be revisionist history and say, no, Porter was always, or Doncic is always who I wanted.
Freaking name on Twitter was freaking
DJ
to Dallas.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think it was a misguided one because I think we got more information right as we got right up to the draft.
Yeah.
That kind of changed the perspective where now suddenly people are saying he might not even be ready at all this year. And that's why he fell all the way to 14th. And I think Dallas even said that they're not willing to even think about the draft picks next year. They want to compete now. Right or wrong, that's what they're going to do. They're going to go try and get the best free agent they can. If they can get Boogie tomorrow, they're going to go get Boogie Cousins. I disagree with that, but that's what they're saying they think. And as a result, I think it was evident that was not meaning Michael Porter sitting out a year. And I think that eliminated him immediately. I think at that point it became, do they want Mo Bamba, or do they want Luka Doncic? And if they could move up to get Luka, they were going to do it. That's what they did, and I think they got their guy. And like as you said earlier, the initial deal was talking about adding Wes Matthews and Kent Bazemore. They found a way to do it where it was just a number 1 pick next year, top 5 protected. There were up to 5 years of protections on that top pick. Now, after 2 years, it becomes only a top 3 protected. But if in 3 years Dallas is still that high in the lottery, something has gone wrong with their blueprint anyway. So it is what it is. Dallas got the guy they wanted. The guy that many experts, and including specifically Bleacher Report, tell you Luka Doncic was their number 1 player in the draft.
Oh yeah,
and everyone is grading Dallas with an A, at the very least an A, if not an A+ for that pick alone.
Yeah, the Stepien had him the best prospect for the longest time. They were really high on Luka Doncic.
His playmaking ability is phenomenal. Even just we're watching highlights, muted of course, over here right now, and. He's not super athletic, but his basketball IQ and his just playmaking ability is next level.
Well,
it'll make him an immediate impact player.
Yeah, just like a comparison for him as in terms of his athleticism and mixed in with his ability to be productive at the NBA level, as a guy to look at is James Harden. I mean, he's probably not James Harden. You won't view as explosive. You won't view him as, someone who's going to make highlights for above the rim type stuff.
Yeah.
But James Harden knows how to break people down.
Yes.
And so one thing that Luka Doncic is going to have to establish real quick in the NBA is that he's a threat at the 3-point line. Because when he gets that down, then people are going to have to respect him, and then he can go to work. So I mean I can't wait. He shot 30% at the 3.
I think it was like 32
something, but they played so many games though. So many games. Clint Capella to Dallas.
Yeah, we're getting to the free agents here in a bit. We definitely have some thoughts on what the center might be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he shot 32% last year from 3-point range, I think I saw. And that's not anything that jumps out at you as amazing, but his shot looks good to me.
Yeah.
And given he's 19 and that he obviously has spent so much time really honing his craft with regard to his like touch on passes and his vision, I do feel encouraged that he could improve as an outside shooter. He does have a bit of a clutch gene too.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be a very good pickup. I think he's an instant impact player on the offense. He's not going to blow you away and be a 20-point-a-night guy. I don't think he has that. But I could see him being somewhere in the 15 range with averaging
I can see him at his peak
8,
being
9 assists a night.
Triple-double machine.
I could see that too. I'm just talking about like his averages and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking the rookie year when I say that as well.
That's not what he meant, but that's still funny.
Joseph Randle, yeah. Yeah, so I think he makes Dallas...
Joseph Randle would be good for the Mavs.
Yeah. I think he makes Dallas better in the meantime. With a guy like Mo Bamba, he had a high ceiling as well, obviously, but he is more of a defensive guy right now.
Which
he could be a great player. Orlando's a perfect place for him, frankly, because there's no pressure to succeed in Orlando.
Yeah. And plus, they love the length. The people who run the organization used to run the Milwaukee Bucks, and they love length, so they got the lengthiest guy ever.
Yeah.
So that you can totally see them, being really excited about Mo Bamba. I was seeing them probably being linked to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's like a 6'6" point guard. And I'm like, of course, literally all they want is like, they're almost like the
screw it, give me Boogie.
they're almost like the Oakland Raiders when it comes to speed. Yeah, they're like, I don't care how good this player, if he can run a 4.3 40, he's on the team. Even though he has nubs his hands, but I don't care. He can run a 4.3 40.
So Luka at 19 dominated the second best basketball league in the world. And let's be clear, the Euro League is better. It's definitely better than D1 college.
Heck yeah.
Like I've seen some people comment to the contrary on that. No, there's
so.
where he got 77 apparently.
Yeah.
Saying that D1 is better. No, it's not. Luka is going up. I mean, first of all, just to be getting standard minutes, like big minutes at 19 in that league is impressive. Let alone to be averaging the numbers he was averaging and to be MVP. They don't call it Finals MVP. What do they call it? Like something like the equivalent of Final Four MVP,
something like that, yeah.
Something to that effect. But the dude's resume is longer than my right arm, and he did all of that in the second best league at 19 years old.
At the age of 19.
Yeah. Again, 6'8", 230. Like he's not a small dude. He can play 3, maybe in a bind because we run small lineups, 4 different positions for us.
Yep.
He can be a playmaker in a different sense than even Dennis Smith is. And Dennis Smith Jr., his pairing people are already calling to, and I know you've said it as well, James Harden and Chris Paul.
Yep.
And a good thing that kind of laid the blueprint of that being something that could even work.
Just for the fact that it sets us at ease, because I definitely think or someone like Rick Carlisle could have probably figured that out without seeing anything of a Chris Paul and a James Harden, that experiment over there in Houston. But the way that they figured it out, the way that they worked it so good that they're able to take the Golden State Warriors to 7 games.
Yep. And if they do have Paul, they might have actually beat them.
They probably wouldn't have been your champions.
They had to lose 2 straight without him.
Yep. So we see that having 2 ball handlers can work, even though we've had amples of examples down here in Dallas where we usually have 3-guard lineups.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that.
Well, part of that too, that as we mentioned, he'll have to improve. Him and Dennis Smith will have to improve their 3-point shooting because neither is really great at that yet.
They're respectable, but not
exactly. Whereas CP3, he's not great, but Harden definitely is a lethal 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
So
and it's something that they can compare. I know Dennis, as we speak, is putting in work, not as we speak, but you know, he's definitely.
You don't know. He could be in the gym right now.
Yeah, but I definitely see him.
It's us.
Nice. So yeah, I'm seeing A's all over the place for as far as grading the pick. I would have to grade it an A.
It's not even accurate. We got 21 people in this chat here.
Nice.
Shout out to Marquise McCauley, Barry B, Stylistics.
Barry.
Glech. I always like saying your name. But yeah, shout out. If you guys got questions, fire them away here in the chat, and we'll get to them. Wow, there's one right on cue. Do I think the little Greek freak could be a future MVP? Future MVP, I'm going to say no. If he is half to 3/4 of what his brother is, I will be happy because that means he will be a productive roster member.
Yep. And I mean, let's actually move on to the second round picks.
Yeah, so the draft goes beyond that. Luka Doncic, obviously, one of the things I said about him was that he had the highest floor of the guys we really looked at the top.
Yep.
He felt like a safe pick who could also still go really far in ability. But I really like what they got in the second round with Jalen Brunson as well out of Villanova. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a little bit, not really a personal story with him, but I had to watch him kick my Sooners' ass 2 years ago when my Buddy Hield-led Sooners got demolished in the Final Four by Villanova. And this guy was a big part of that.
So the one word to describe our first and second round draft picks is pedigree. We had, they came in accomplishing a lot. So Jalen Brunson, of course, if you guys didn't know.
Just give me numbers on this, I'll comment.
Okay, so just so you didn't know, Jalen Brunson was pretty much NCAA, MVP.
He was the most efficient player for sure.
He was pretty much the leader of that Villanova team that won the national championship last year. We know Mikal Bridges went, number 10. We know DiVincenzo went to, I don't know, he went to the Bucks. I don't know where they picked, but
yeah.
But still, they were being led by Jalen Brunson. Definitely, hey, it sucks for Yogi Ferrell, but, he'll probably find somewhere else that he can play because now the league actually finally knows that he can play. But, yeah, having a guy like Jalen Brunson, having to back up Dennis Smith, yes, he probably will get time at the 2 because we run multiple guard lineups.
Yep.
I see him as a productive player, and I actually can't wait to see him during the summer.
He's
league.
a big point guard, can absolutely post up on the block.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did a lot of that. And here's the thing. I love Yogi Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
I think his days are probably being signaled done at this point. That draft pick to me, because you already got Dennis.
Yep.
You're not passing Dennis on minutes. If Dennis is healthy, he's your starter.
Yep.
2, you got J.J. Barea, who Dallas loves its veterans. Carlisle loves having a backup he can rely on.
Uh-huh.
And J.J., he had a great year last year.
He
Probably
did.
the best year of his career last year.
Yeah, it was to a point where it was a threat.
Yep.
Yep. Like, yo, JJ, I'm going to need you to calm down.
Yeah, so J.J. Barea absolutely is still going to be your number 2. Now 3, you're going to take your second-round pick, Brunson, because I think he brings something that Yogi can't really bring. And Yogi's an undersized point guard. What do you think he is as a shooting guard?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
I think he's trade bait, absolutely, too. If Dallas wants to do like a sign and trade or if they want to do some kind of deal.
I think he's a free agent, or I'm not sure if he's even a
You know what? I think you're right. I think he is actually, now that I think about it, a free agent. I think we had him on a 2-year deal, which included his half season with us and then all of this past year. So, I think he's free agent. You're right.
And Jacob Perkins also brought up something I was going to mention, too, when we're done. But, yeah, Devin will most likely probably be coming back to Dallas.
From Utah. Yep.
From Denver.
No, you're right. Utah. Utah's where he was before us. Or no, it was Utah, Atlanta, Dallas, and then he went to Denver. Yes.
Yeah.
He has bounced around so much. Whenever he's not wearing a Mavericks jersey, he's on the move. That's all you need to know.
But he will most likely be back.
Yes, Kid OSU, goodbye Yogi Mania appears to be it. And I'm sad about that because I do like Yogi. But he doesn't really fit with what the best thing is for the future for us.
Yeah.
Devin Harris, if you're playing him as a backup too, he could fit.
But I think they're going to prioritize Seth.
I would much rather have Seth Curry
they're
than
going to prioritize
Devin Harris.
Devin Harris,
Devin Harris is what, 33? 3,
Something
2,
like-
something like that. I mean,
something like that.
he's up there. He's no longer spring chicken, so to speak. So
Yeah. And I mean, if you bring in Devin, it's definitely to be a mentor type to Dennis, to Jalen, and I mean he was a good player. Him and JJ definitely had a connection. They had at least that one back cut that they did every game. That was a nasty back cut. They would throw from like half court. It was nasty. Speaking of backcourts, this is something that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
So we picked up Luka Doncic, right?
Yes.
Very smart
Yep.
player. Very great presser.
Mm-hmm.
You know who was a really good backdoor cut when we had our team?
When we had him on our team?
No, yeah, last year.
Oh, that we have on our team.
Doug Mcdermott. Doug Mcdermott was a good, solid backup back cutter. And with Luka, you're not excited about Doug McDermott? Sorry, yo, I shouldn't.
No, you're good. Doug McDermott, for me, man, like I watched him with the Thunder too, and like I get it. Spacing is fine with the Thunder, but how they utilize him is not the best. What I'm telling you is, I like him as a piece.
Yes.
I don't prioritize him.
Oh, no.
Unless you get him at a really nice deal, I don't really care to bring him back. I know he did pretty well for the Mavericks once he came on last year.
For the Mavs last year.
For what they wanted him to be.
And I think
yes.
they're
But how many guys like him did they bring in that didn't work out? Like Wayne Ellington and guys like that. I'm just saying, guys that were supposed to be 3-point specialists. Anthony Morrow, who was actually really good for the Thunder in that regard.
That was then.
And
that
was terrible for the Mavs.
That was when we were trying to freaking win. But
Dougie McBuckets is his name, by the way.
Yeah, McBuckets, bro. He was averaging like 60. Not averaging, but he was shooting 60%.
Averaging 60 points a game. I want him back, absolutely.
As long as we can get him on a cheap deal. Bro, come on, y'all sleeping on Dougie McBuckets.
I mean, like, define cheap. Like, I want him on a team-friendly-ish deal.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't want to have to
give him like a mid-level exception.
Like no, not mid-level, no. But like if he's wanting like $12 million a year, I'd be like, dude, you're not worth $12 million a year.
Yeah, you haven't sustained that level of production.
Noel probably is gone. Probably should be gone. I don't know that he will be because we don't have a lot of good options.
He probably
hold on. I wanted to hit a question that came up earlier. Someone asking if we think that Little Greek Freak makes the team next year.
Probably not. He's probably going to spend a lot of
I
time.
think he's going to be G League.
Yeah, he's going to
He is incredibly raw. More raw than Greek Freak was coming out.
Yeah.
But he does have the tools, but he is more raw than
like,
his older brother was, Giannis.
What is it, like 6'10", 190 pounds? That's a red flag. How you 6'10" and only 190 pounds?
What was Durant? 117 pounds?
117
I mean, hell, man! I watched a 5th grade girl box him out.
What? 117 pounds. Anyway, yeah, he was probably. I remember the narrative. He couldn't even lift like what?
170.
170.
170
once. That's what probably
at the NBA Combine. Yep, that's what dropped him to 2. That's why Portland made a bad decision in hindsight.
But he can probably lift over 300 now, so that's pretty cool. Who
only if he has 4 other All-Stars helping him. I will never let that go.
They're all spotting him.
Yeah,
2 on each side.
They're like pulling up the weight, like, yeah, you got it, man. This is all you. This is all you.
Yeah, man. Screw the Thunder. They couldn't do this for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, dude. I mean, he definitely has the tools.
Eric Anthony.
Yeah, he's probably gonna play with us in the summer league. I can't wait to see if we see anything from him next year.
So here's a big thing on summer league to mention right before I answer Eric's question. We will not really see much, if any, of Luka Doncic in the summer league, and the reason for that, Carlisle said in the draft night presser.
He just finished playing 100 games.
Yeah, the EuroLeague literally just wrapped up. Like the dude has been playing for a long time. He is exhausted. And you don't want to risk injury, but 2, you want to give the guy time to rest if you actually want him to do something in his rookie year, which of course they do.
Exactly.
So while last year's summer league was like the holy crap, look at Dennis Smith Jr. and suddenly fans went from like oh cool, they got a high end guy that dropped to them to like, oh my god, this is rookie of the year. Yeah, that was great. And don't get me wrong, I'm bummed we won't see Luka, but when you actually look at it logically, true. But when you look at it logically, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to see Luka as long as he gets rest. If we get him 2 or 3 games, I consider myself more than happy.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Las Vegas. He's gonna be practicing.
He'll be there and practicing, but he's not gonna be like playing games and all that. So to answer Eric's question, Eric Anthony, what do you think is gonna happen with Nerlens Noel?
He
made the worst financial decision of his life when he turned down $70 million
of his life, and then ended the season on a high note.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not the best.
Borrowing from Tim McMahon on that.
Yep. I think there's a good chance he's back with the Mavs, only because no one else wants him.
I mean,
we get him.
The thing with Nerlens Noel, his game is so limited with regard to like, it doesn't age well within this modern day and age of the NBA. Like, people are trying to find stretch fives. He can't even like. Hell, does he have a low post game? He's basically a lob dunker, a putback.
Yeah, he's just a rim diver.
He is a rebounder, shot blocker, and by the way, the problem he had with the Mavericks last year in terms of finding consistent minutes was because he was going into business for himself, so to speak, and hunting block shots instead of sticking to his assignments. That was why he was in Rick Carlisle's doghouse.
Yep.
And as a result of that, yes, the hot dog drugs in one season. Yes, that pretty much sums up Nerlens Noel in one succinct sentence there. Hot dogs and drugs.
Yeah. Speaking of Nerlens Noel, did you see? There's a video of him. I think it was on Twitter, of him shooting threes. I saw that earlier this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his shot looked terrible. I mean, I wouldn't say terrible. He was making it, of course, but 5-on-0. If you put 5-on-0, I think virtually every.
We got 37 people in here. This is great.
Nice. If you put any NBA person shooting threes with no one guarding them, I think just about all of them can make stuff. Does Spaulding make the team? That's a very good question. Actually, I looked him up. I saw everything that I wanted to see from him in his highlight tapes. One thing, when I look at highlight tapes, I don't want to see people just dunking. That's a huge turnoff for me.
Right.
I saw a lot of shot blocking.
Satnam Singh.
Yeah.
Not only dunking, but dunking in an empty gym.
We don't speak. And missing it. He went 8 for 10.
We sold 4 more jerseys in the Indian market, though.
That was a failed experience.
That was the last year of being just humiliated by the in the draft, I think.
That was bad. What was we talking about? Oh,
we were talking about Spaulding.
Yeah, Ray Spaulding. First note, like his name. Definitely. I mean, that's endorsements right there. Spaulding, baby. Call him up. And then, I saw a lot of shot blocking from him. Which that's what we need. Very good post game. Your traditional big man back to the basket. I saw a lot of that.
Cool.
Which, that's good. Saw a lot of hook shots. I'm hearing that he can't really shoot, which, okay, whatever. That's why he picked him.
Yeah, that's why he was a late second round pick. Yeah.
But I saw a little bit of remnants of him shooting the ball from the three. I think I probably saw like 2 or 3 clips of him shooting the ball and making it. So something is there.
Yeah.
We just need to continue to work on that, which he's probably going to continue to work on that with the Legends. So he probably doesn't make the team year 1, but he's probably going to be an interesting guy to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Just like what's his nuts was
Little Greek
last
Freak.
year.
Oh, last year. Who was your guy last year you were talking about in that regard?
From Baylor.
Motley.
Jonathan Motley.
Yes, yeah. Jonathan Motley. I'm actually excited to see what he does in year 2.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be amazing, but I think he'll be solid. Oh, wow, someone actually tagging us. Do we think the Mavs can make this year if they get Jordan? Jordan being Deandre Jordan.
I mean, we can get Jordan at his prime.
So
like
we're
Michael Jordan.
So if we're going, I guess we're pretty good to transition, I guess, into the free agency talk here. Let me do a quick scour here, make sure I didn't miss any comments with questions here.
Summer League is Brunson's team. Yep. I
you guys
wait.
Spoiler alert for you guys. Not spoiler alert. Tip. If you want me to be sure I catch a question, you gotta throw a question mark on there. That's what my eyes are looking for.
Or tag us. That's how you definitely.
Yes, tag us absolutely. So shout out SGJ, Dwight Howard, Dallas should get as a free agent. Dwight Howard, I'll pass. I don't see the appeal of bringing in Dwight Howard at this point.
Only because if he's willing to actually be a team player.
Do you think that Dwight Howard fits our long-term plans by the time we're actually competitively relevant again?
No.
Then no. Pass.
No.
Now, there's one example of that in free agency talk that you'll think I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite on, and maybe, but I think it's a little bit of a different situation as well.
Now, we're not saying Dwight Howard is a bad player, because I think he'd actually had a pretty good season last year with the Charlotte Hornets.
Sure. But he's very old school type of game where you got to throw the ball down to him in the low block and let him work, and that's not really how the game works today. And there's a reason every team that gets a hold of him these days tries to get rid of him after 1 year.
Just like the
Atlanta, Charlotte, Brooklyn, they've already bought him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no one wants him. There's a reason for that. It's not just because of it's not because his numbers aren't good. It's because he's not a strong work ethic guy, and then you combine that with his game not really aging within the thing. LeBron, I would love it, but I'm not going to even give us a 0.2% chance on that. Yeah. So let's say,
man, if LeBron came to Dallas, though, I don't think I even would want that. I know we're trying to win now, but come on, bro. Like when he comes here, people's production goes down.
Right. So
they get better, but their production.
Let me just say, so Kid OSU has a very good question. This is a guy I've actually gotten pretty high on in the last couple of days as a good option for Dallas. Alex Lynn, now that he's leaving Phoenix, do you like him in Dallas and what he could bring to the offense? A young core, still like 24 years old, I believe.
Yeah,
no. No on Alex Lynn for you?
I'm out.
Okay.
That's a no for me, dog.
All right. Let me see here. I had some notes on him here. Double-double machine every night, gets his minutes. He's 7'1", 5th overall pick in the past. Wouldn't cost much as the other guys, and he'd give you a young core moving forward.
That's true.
He's 24 years old, so he keeps you under 25, gives you a piece for the future. 7'1", 5th overall pick in the past.
Man, if you couldn't do it in Phoenix.
But what else does he have around him?
Phoenix has had more around him than Dallas did.
But moving forward, you can't compare him to Dallas last year. We're asking about what he would do moving forward. Me personally, I say if you can get Alex Lynn,
we can get anybody. Honestly,
I want to know the numbers if we can get Alex Lynn.
Here's what we need from our center next year.
Shot blocking, rebounding.
That's the number one. Those are the number one things that we need from any center.
Yep.
So if you are not proficient, not just proficient, but if you don't excel in those two things, I'm sorry, we can't have you. That's why everyone who says Boogie Cousins, I'm sorry, he does not fit with this team.
No, and in the case of Boogie, all I'm going to say on him, he doesn't fit with us because he is, I think, going on 28.
Something like that.
He's wanting to play for a contender. How many years did he play with freaking Sacramento and do nothing?
Yeah.
He wants a contender. His first possible taste of that even last year, even just being a real playoff team, was taken from him with that Achilles injury. That's the other thing. His Achilles injury, he's probably not playing till December, and then you got to factor in 2 or 3 months of him just getting into form. Do you really want to bring that in with a guy who is a coach killer, a locker room cancer?
Okay, well,
I get the talent.
Yeah.
But you got to look at circumstance in Boogie's case, and for me, that's a hard pass for me. Even if he says, I want Dallas, I'm like, that's cool, that's flattering. Let's move on.
I'll get Boogie Cousins only because I know somewhere down the line we're going to probably trade him and try to get pieces back.
That's the question. What kind of deal would you have to get him on? If he comes here for a 2-year deal with a player option, do you take him?
If it's like 25?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he's here, he's getting the max he can get in 1 year. So he's getting paid here when we can't really do much. That's what I'm thinking. If he came to Dallas, it would be a short-term deal. That's my thinking.
Only to flip him. I'll try to flip him as soon as we got him. Not as soon as we got him.
You're talking about like, okay, we're not off to a strong start. Let's look to trade Boogie.
We'll try to get him to a contender.
Right.
And get some pieces back. Try to get back in the first.
I just don't think if you got Boogie, the years would balance out to the money for what you want and what your long-term plans are. So let me keep sliding through here, through some of the questions.
I'm actually very intrigued by Ray Spaulding, Kid OSU.
Yeah, Spaulding.
I'm really intrigued by him.
Spaulding is intriguing, yes. I'd probably be a practice squad player early on. Oh, Mrs. Luka.
Stop.
Sorry, not Mrs. Luka Doncic. Sorry. We got highlight video here going on.
Her name is bro. Keep
I don't
the video going, bro. He has a pause right on Luka's mom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Luka's mom has got it going on.
Yeah.
His
Okay.
dad was a professional
Yes,
basketball
was a
player.
professional player. Yes, as I find
His
my
mom
train of
was a
thought again.
supermodel.
All right, so Barry B would rather Clint Capella over Jordan or Howard.
Bro,
yes,
Clint
1000% agree.
But
1000%.
I don't think Houston will let Capella go.
I don't think so either. But
here's your best chance.
if it were to happen, that is my
Capella.
like pie in the sky because he's 24. He averaged 13 and 10 or 11 last year.
He can rebound
and
he
like
can
2
block
blocks
shots,
a game. Yes, that is my absolute pie in the sky.
And he can dive to the basket.
It would be the poison pill scenario,
Here,
like we did with Chandler Parsons, where Houston is trying to get in on the LeBron case.
Yeah, that's your best chance of landing.
Right. So if you offer basically it have to be a max contract to Clint Capella, which you could do.
Yep.
Does Houston, for fear of not being able to then afford LeBron, not match? They let Parsons go, but they did get a backup plan before then in Ariza, who you could really easily argue was actually an upgrade.
Yeah.
And not just in hindsight, like even at the time, you could argue that was an upgrade.
That summer, I actually wanted Trevor Ariza more than I wanted Chandler Parsons.
Yeah.
But the fact that we got Chandler Parsons and he had upside, I was just like excited about it. So I kind of threw Trevor Ariza to the side.
Yeah.
But looking forward to that offseason, I was like, I would rather have Trevor Ariza.
Right. Are Mavs looking at making the playoffs? No, not right now. Not yet. They're going to try.
They want to. That's
but they're
their
not
plan
ready.
Going into next year.
They're not ready.
But they're not.
I could see them being around the 38 to 43 win range. That's my guess right now. But we haven't even hit free agency.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. No matter what.
I mean, what they were 23 last year.
Yeah. No matter what kind of.
I think Luka Doncic is. I mean, how many close games did they lose last year? If they win,
they did lose a lot.
If they win like a fourth more of those games, we're looking at a team that instead of 23 wins is like 30.
Yeah.
So now you add Luka Doncic, I could see them being bottom 35.
I was gonna say I don't think Luka Doncic adds 10 wins to your
roster. No.
But Luka Doncic, along with a good free agency pickup, will probably add.
And that's what I'm saying. Bottom 35.
Yeah.
Once we see what they've got, but I'm assuming Dallas has a pretty good knack for finding gold as far as the bottom of the barrel in free agency.
I feel like Rick Carlisle has a knack for turning coal into gold.
That's not even like chemically possible, but
Rick Carlisle makes it happen, baby.
You could have gone with diamonds and thrown it back to the DDP thing, but instead,
my bad, dude. But anyway, because that's what he did with freaking.
It's fine. You don't know me as DDP.
That's what he did with freaking Dougie McBuckets.
McDuckets. I want to see a DuckTales parody with Doug McDermott's face plastered all over it now. So that's that. Okay, Barry B hitting with the tag. Do you think the Mavs can make the playoffs this year if they get Jordan? If they get DeAndre Jordan. All right, so let's just dive into that.
Okay.
DeAndre Jordan 2015, Emoji War, Emoji Gate, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
That happened.
It hurt.
That was a thing.
It hurt.
And I didn't think I would ever move past it, but here's the thing. DeAndre Jordan is in the last year of his max contract. Mm-hmm. He is an immediate fill-in as a rim-protecting, athletic, rebounding alley-oop machine. Would fit great with Luka and with Dennis Smith Jr.
I love basketball talk. You guys are hilarious.
He fits in great. Who said that? Dougie McNuggets. Very nice. He fits in very well, but I get it. You have to move on from it, and I think Dallas at this point is at the point where they're like, screw it. It fits. It works better with what we need.
Yeah.
It fits us in the short term. If this is a 1 year now, if we were talking about if he was a free agent, we were talking signing him, pass.
Yeah.
But if you're taking him a year, then no, I'm fine with that. Give him a year.
He's most likely going to opt into his final year.
And I think he's actually a very real possibility. I could see DeAndre Jordan becoming a Maverick, as insane as that sounds, after the Emoji War of 2015.
Man, that
was, by the way, the last article I wrote for ProjectShanks.com. Not ProjectShanks.com's fault. That was just the last major Mavericks article to talk about at the time. before that site kind of started to.
I think if
go
we
on
get
its
Michael
last
Jordan
legs.
and Clint Capella too, we're probably competing for that 8th spot. as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Michael Jordan.
LeBron on Ruru 214. No way LeBron comes to Dallas. Sorry. He'd have a better chance at OKC, and I'd give that.
We need to get, for us to get LeBron James, we need to get Kawhi Leonard already coming here. We need to get Paul George already here.
Because he wants to play with one of those guys.
More than
that, he wants to play in the East.
We need to get Clint Capella already here.
Yeah.
And then LeBron will probably think about it.
Right. So, like I was saying, OKC has a better chance than Dallas, and OKC is a less than 1% chance. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't hold my breath on LeBron to Dallas.
And if he signs back with OKC.
Alex Lynn, yes, I'm interested. Enyi says no. Jacob Perkins, does the Bomba pick for Orlando open up the chance for getting Alex Gordon? They're loaded with bigs.
Nah, man. No, I don't think so. He definitely, his natural position is the 4. You can play Bomba at the 5. They're loaded with bigs. You can probably have.
But it doesn't push him back on the depth chart.
Yeah, we'll have a better chance of getting Vucevic, who's also not a bad center.
That's Portland now, right?
No. That's
still Orlando.
He's still with Orlando. I think he's gonna be a free agent, restricted. I'm not sure if he's gonna be restricted or not restricted. Actually, he's a very underrated player because he's with Orlando. No one really knows who he is.
Got 50 people in here now, man.
Nice.
We booming.
Hey, man, people want to talk Mavs. That's
you want Mavs talk and basketball talk? We got it. We'll talk regular NBA in the future too.
I don't think Dennis is playing the summer league.
No, there's no need for him to play summer league now. I don't think. I don't want to risk him, frankly.
Man,
he missed games because of his knee last year. I don't want to risk him.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
But let's jump back up to the top tier here, just so we don't skip over people. We're gonna try and hit whatever questions. Yeah, as many questions as we can. So we're not gonna skip over people if we can help it.
Money bot.
So let's see. Charlotte's his career new start. So I think Elliot's talking about Dwight and Charlotte. Charlotte, Dwight. I think he was talking about the supposed to help revive his career new start. I don't think Dwight's going to have a new start at this stage in his career. I think Dwight is what he is, and
if I'm Dwight, I'm going to super contender. I'm probably heading to if LeBron is there. I'll wait. If I'm Dwight, I'm waiting to where LeBron is going. He probably would not want to play with LeBron.
I don't think that.
But if he wants to win,
Dwight's going to go somewhere where he can either get the most money still at this point, or he's going to go try and tag team off someone else's thing for a title. Yeah. I don't know Dwight's MO, what he wants really.
He probably wants money.
Yeah. I don't think Dwight's a hard worker, and I think that would drive LeBron insane like it drove Kobe insane with LA. There's a reason LA and Dwight didn't work out because LA has a history of stealing big men and making that their future franchise guy. Alex Lynn, last resort. Alex Lynn. All right, so
if he's last resort, yeah, we can
Nurkic from or trading for Vucevic.
Vucevic is very underrated.
Yes,
I'm not sure if he's a shot blocker, but he's 7 feet and he can shoot.
So Nurkic, that's the Portland guy, right?
That's the perk. Yeah.
Okay,
Portland.
So with him, I think Portland is in a very interesting situation. They were, the 3 seed last year? Stop trying to block me to not distract me. Allow me to be distracted. So, damn it.
He was he was a number 3. Portland was number 3.
Yes. So Portland was a 3 seed last year. He was a big part of that, but they got swept. So here's the question. Does Portland still think, for the record, that was, as we're watching clips, that was another clip of Luka Doncic's mom that distracted me. Forgive me, I'm only human.
Luka's mom.
So would Portland be willing to let him go? Because they were a 3 seed, which is great, but they got swept.
If I'm Portland...
how close do they really think they are?
If I'm Portland...
Do you think they can hang on to Dame long term? Because that's a big part of that question.
I'm keeping Dame because Dame is a freaking beast.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You want to keep him if you can.
Cold-blooded. But I need to get a wing. there. Al-Farouq Aminu as your starting small forward? Nah, son. That's not going to get the job done.
I liked him a lot in Dallas, but as your starting small forward, not ideal.
Nah, son. That ain't going to get the job done. You're looking at a lot of getting beat in the first round.
Yep.
If you have 2 small guys leading the charge offensively. CJ McCollum is good. Trade him. get something back for him.
I
preferably
agree.
A small forward,
especially with his mentality towards the end of the season. He seemed indifferent towards getting swept and just like, oh, I've got money and cars.
Exactly.
Like, that's not really what you want.
Exactly.
Not a good look.
So yeah, trade him. Try to get a big. I'm not big, but try to get a scoring wing, from whoever. Nurkic is good, but if they run a chance to actually go past the first round, that's what they should do.
Jacob Perkins, I'd be so pissed if we end up with Brook effing Lopez.
Hey man, he can shoot.
He's got. I mean,
but
what would the circumstances be? Like, I don't know what his contract is. I'm assuming we're taking on like what, last year, maybe 2.
Probably.
That's not horrible. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't help where we need the help. It's not a rim protector. It's not a strong, necessarily rebounder.
He's a pretty strong rebounder, I think.
Okay. So it's not a rim protector. Not
older.
A good defender.
He's older, though.
Yes, that as well.
Yep.
I don't think it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely like a...
He's done worse, yeah.
Yes.
If you're dead set on getting Clint Capella, DeAndre Jordan, Boogie Cousins, and you ended up with Brook effing Lopez, you're probably going to be disappointed. But he's not the worst, especially nowadays in the NBA. They can definitely go 5 out and have Dennis and Luka go ham on kicking it out.
Eric Anthony, Houston would be stupid to choose DeAndre over Capella. No. That's not what we're saying. DeAndre would be the other alternative for Dallas with Capella. Capella, I don't even know that Dallas is really serious about Capella because it would be a tough situation. You'd have to like throw the money at him, and then you're caught in a holding pattern and hoping that Houston doesn't match. In the case of Parsons, at the time, you were in a situation where you really, I mean, we're pretty far down now. I don't want to say like, oh, we're that close that we can do it, but like, or that we can't afford to do it. But at the same time, I think that they have more optimism about being aggressive. And I don't know that they want to be in a holding pattern while Houston is sitting there deciding if they want to match. Houston's not considering DeAndre Jordan. That's not a thing.
No, son.
So Dallas maybe considers him for 1 year. My ideal would be Capella matching him, but that is a full deal at that point, a full max contract. And I don't know that that's Dallas's thinking. That would just be my ideal because you keep under 25. You get a guy that's offensive and defensive, and you can pay him the deal that Houston presumably would not be able to match because they're going to have to pay other people if they add who they want to add.
Who is this guy?
Bravo?
What are you doing, bro?
Bravo asking, do you think Dennis Smith is tradable in the future?
What are you doing?
Enyi was the first one to the Dennis Smith thing, and he will be the last one off of that.
Come on, bro.
Bus.
That train, I built that train, sir. We ain't trading that train.
To which they ask, didn't you also try and build the Michael Porter Jr. train?
I did, yes. That thing blew up.
Yeah, it's hard to build 2 trains.
There's a lot of trains I try to build that I'm not too proud of. I tried to build the Roddy B train.
OJ Mayo.
I was definitely high on OJ. But who wasn't? He was actually a good player.
Right.
Somewhat. And then I was also really high on. I was trying to build the Toledo train.
So do we think they'll trade Dennis Smith in the future? Define future, like future being rookie contract? No. I think barring injury, they are 100% in on, and I mean like catastrophic injury.
Yeah,
they are 100% in on him.
If they do, I'll be pissed.
Barry B, do you think the Mavericks should go for 2 quality bigs like Lynn and Jordan? If they want to do that financially, I think that'd be great. I would love Alex Lynn off the bench. You were out on him? What if he's off the bench?
I would love to have him off the bench.
Off the bench, absolutely. Yes. If Barry B, if they could do that, yes, 100%, I would go for that.
And that'd be good. Because Alex Lynn,
but you got to figure out how they could.
Is Alex Lynn more?
He's a stretch.
He's stretched, so he's more offensively minded.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'd be a good.
But you also got to figure out how you'd be able to then, if you want to bring back guys like Curry and McBuckets. Yeah. So, and by the way, McBuckets would be the first one cut off that list.
Nah, son. Nah, man.
You would rather
protect the McNuggets, bro.
The McNuggets. It's McBuckets.
You always protect. I'm just going off what
you protect the McNuggets.
All always protect the McNuggets.
Portland needs to blow it up. To start fresh. I don't know if they need to blow it up.
They need to definitely.
They need to retool. Retool, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that would be the way in which you.
My main not my philosophy on building a team. This is one of the reasons why I wanted a Michael Porter Jr., but Luka kind of fits this as well, so I'm pretty straight with that. Is I don't want to be offensively led by Dennis Smith because he's too small.
That would be the
and that's the problem.
Doncic thing, though.
Yeah, Doncic is.
You got a point forward who can play anywhere from the 1 to 4 with how we run lineups.
That's why I'm straight with Luka, and that's the problem that Portland is having. Your two offensive powerhouses are guys under 6'4", so you're gonna get stopped. Who did they lose? They were the number 3 seed. Who was number 6 this year?
You talking 6?
Yeah.
They got swept by the New Orleans. Without Boogie.
Without a 3. They didn't even have a 3.
You let Rajon Rondo dance on you, flex on you.
They don't even have who's the 3. The 3 is really a old point guard. Who was the 3?
I don't remember. You're asking me an obscure team starting small forward, and that is not my strength unless my team played them. One of my 2 teams played them in the playoffs.
Their starting point guards were
not a very good one.
Rondo
from the sound of it. Yeah, no, that was their first 2, and those are fine. I mean, as that goes.
Man, did they play freaking Mirotic at the 3?
I don't even remember. You know what? I think they did trade for him, actually, right?
They picked him.
Yes, I think they might have.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What was the question?
So, we were just talking about the Caps. Move on.
Okay.
I lost it too. Portland doesn't have enough cap space for the Nurkic contract. Yeah, that'd be great. If you can pull that off, do it. Do it because they're in cap space hell, like the Wizards are, like Memphis is. Move on from that, Enyi. You have to move on.
I'm sorry.
I got a feeling the Mavs will get some good pieces in free agency. I think they could presumably get some decent ones. I don't think they're going to get a big fish, but I think they could get a couple guys where you're like, okay, I could see this being a guy for the future. Like, if they got an Alex Len, for me, I would say,
Ian Clark? That's like, do you think Toronto
blows it up?
They should.
They should
trade. If I'm Philly, freaking, I'll be going after DeRozan right now. I know they don't want LeBron. Nah, son. If you get LeBron, Ben Simmons will be rendered irrelevant.
Sir, this is a Mavericks podcast, not a Philadelphia 76ers.
I am sorry. And by the way, speaking of Philadelphia, how dumb are the Philadelphia 76ers? Why would they trade Mikal Bridges? Anyway, that was dumb.
Well, even funnier was the fact that his mom was like the VP of Human Resources, and they did an interview with him specifically drawing attention to that before trading him.
Your son is coming home. Yeah. It's going to be so fun watching him run out.
And he's a Phoenix Sun. Yeah. I don't know on that. Toronto, should they blow it up? Yeah, probably.
I think so, yeah.
Serge Ibaka would be interesting, but I think he's still going to want too much money.
Yeah.
He's not what he was. Even when OKC got rid of him, he wasn't what he was.
Nope.
But he is a rim protector,
and
he can give you a stretch 4, which is interesting to a lot of teams. All right, Barry B again. With the drafting of Luka, do you think Luka's the best player on this team? Right now, no. Do I think he's the most impactful player? Probably.
He can do the most.
I think
he's the most well-rounded.
Here's exactly. Like, if you look at the stat sheet, he's not going to blow you away with points. He's not. I think he's going to fill the stat sheet in a way that is very productive, but nothing
stands out.
Yes, as a rookie, I think he will give you numbers where he's like 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, and you're like, oh, that's pretty, healthy across the board.
Pretty healthy across the board.
I'm not saying averages. I'm saying like in a given game.
In a given game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not averages. Averages, no.
Like, bro.
No. I'm not talking averages.
Yes, give me that.
I'm talking like in a given game, he can give you a stat 14, line 7, like that.
Yeah. That's still really good though.
Yeah, no, it is. I just mean like it's a healthy stat line. It's not like the absurd Russell Westbrook or LeBron stat lines you get where it's like 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 17 assists.
Maybe in his
Don't you dare speak ill of Russell Wilson.
Nah, bro. That man's the most overrated thing. Anyway,
okay.
How much cap space money does the Mavericks have?
Man, right this minute, yeah, they got a lot now.
Let's just say our powder is indeed dry.
I don't know the exact figure off the top of my head. Kevion Brown, but Kevon Brown. Sorry, I put the I in the wrong place. I don't know what the exact figure is right now, but they do have more cap room right now than most.
$25 million.
Yes, they have more cap room right now than most anybody else. In fact, no, I don't think it's 25 million. I think I heard it the other day that it was like 16 right now. But if they had pulled off the trade for the number 4 pick, like I was talking about, they would have shipped Dwight Powell, which would have opened up another 10. That was how they got to 25, I think. I digress. The point is, they have a lot of money right now. They can afford to go get either a max player, or they can get 2 very good players, or 3-4 bit players, whatever they want to do.
Yeah. Will Luka win Rookie of the Year? Vegas actually has him ranked number 2.
Vegas had Dennis Smith too, as well. Just saying.
Okay, but Vegas also didn't foresee
Ben Simmons.
Well, I think they
even
did.
if they did,
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell still would have whipped him too if that was the case. And I'm not demeaning Dennis Smith. Dude is no. You took a shot at Russell. No, I'm kidding. No, Dennis Smith is a very, very good point guard. But yeah, no, he wasn't going to be Rookie of the Year.
He had the chance to be.
He was in the outside conversation probably.
At the beginning,
it really became a two-man race.
At this point last year.
Well, yeah. Point last year, of course, just like Luka right now is number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
is he
Luka
going to
has
be
a
in the
chance to stay?
He could if he stays healthy, yeah, because Dennis Smith missed games because of his knee and stuff.
Okay.
I could see him being in the discussion. I want him to win. Yeah. That I'm being clear on that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be a great accolade.
Number though, golly.
Yeah, 77. I'm not feeling that.
Would you guys like Montrezl Harrell? He's a great hustle player.
Montrezl Harrell.
He hustles.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want him, but would you guys feel about giving Randall to Max? Ooh, Max, no.
No.
I like Julius Randle quite a bit. I don't like him for Max.
I like Joseph Randle too. That's what some guy said. Yeah, Julius Randle, Max and him. That's a no for me. Dog.
Here's the thing too. I'm also hearing Dallas isn't super interested in him right now. Mike Fisher was even saying the other day, like, he doesn't, from what he's hearing, they don't think he really fits what they're trying to do. Despite his age, he blows them up every year.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they don't feel he fits well with what they're trying to do.
And he doesn't.
I think he's a solid player, but do I want to pay him max? Hell no.
No, especially because he doesn't fit.
No.
He's not a shot blocker. He's a great rebounder, not a shot blocker.
Right. Eric Anthony, the one thing I would say on Summer League, you will not have Luka Doncic. EuroLeague just wrapped up. You're not going to have him in there for any significant minutes. Maybe not even at all.
Hey,
Rick Carlisle already said that.
Hey, man, still watch that Summer League because I'm all up in it.
Yes, still watch it. Yeah, still watch it. I mean, like guys like Motley.
Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
You're going to have Jonathan Motley.
Spaulding.
We're going to have Ray Spaulding. We're going to have Greek Freak 2.0. We're going to probably bring back Chinese dude from last year that everyone loved.
Nate the Great thinks we play.
Huh?
Nate the Great Rogers thinks we play.
Y'all play for the league?
I think he's saying, like, we're not serious. We're like, what? Man, you playing. You kidding.
No. What do you mean we play? Oh, because of...
we nothing but the real.
I
can't pull that off, can I?
I think
Big Game James says it all the time, and it works.
You're saying it and screwing me up. Luka will win MVP next season. Screw Rookie of the Year.
MVP. I would love that. I would love that, Jacob.
Jacob Evans is Luka Doncic.
Evans? That's Perkins.
That's Perkins. My bad. Jacob Evans is another.
I don't know where you're going with that.
That was another basketball player. Jacob.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, there you go, kid OSU. Jacob Perkins is the LeVar Ball for Luka Doncic. So yes, not only will he win Rookie of the Year, he will win MVP. He will take us
Finals
to the playoffs.
MVP. And he will get that date with Jennifer Aniston because he deserves it, damn it. That was when I knew that I was on the same wavelength as Luka Doncic. When he said his dream date was Jennifer Aniston, I was like, I feel you.
Bro.
Like I'm right there with you. You just became like one of my favorite players, even if you hadn't been a Maverick.
His mom kind of looks like Jennifer Aniston.
You think he's got an Oedipus complex?
Probably. I don't know. My man Freud would probably have something to say about that.
Anyway, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the future is looking very promising for Dallas. I mean, they got like I said, the player that many people consider the big Luka brand, the best player in the draft. They got him. And the thing is, like, people are scared, like, about Luka somehow being like Darko Milicic or something like that.
Nah, that's not the case.
No, like Leangelo for summer roster. No, I don't think that.
He put up 40 points in some big baller brand.
The Dallas
league.
prospect. I just got an Instagram thing that says Diamond Dallas Page. Oh, Diamond Dallas Page News started following me. I was like, he's on to me.
That was funny.
But yeah, no.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about the future in general.
Oh,
Darko Milicic. Yeah, no, I don't foresee Luka Doncic by any means being Darko Milicic because again, second best league in the world.
Second best league in the league.
Yep, second best league in the league. Second best league in the world. He was the best player at 19. Was doing things
against
no one else
men.
could. Yes, that no one else could do in general, let alone at that age.
Ex-NBA players, he was already dominating.
Exactly. And
I already played against NBA talent because he played
he played against the Thunder.
Against the Thunder. I think he also played against
with
the
Durant,
Celtics,
no
too.
less. The 2016 Thunder, the team that should have been the champion.
And he was like 17 when he did that.
Yep.
And he was being guarded by Russell Westbrook.
Yep. Well, he's not a great defender, but
Russell Westbrook?
just know he gambles a lot. He gambles on everything.
Yeah. Anyway, but still, that's still NBA level.
He's a man among boys, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
He's a boy.
He should be a boy among men, but he's a man among manly men. And we're just gonna go somewhere in that vicinity. So he's legit.
Start solid next year. You know what?
If we start solid next year, we will keep that top 5 protected.
Yeah, I'm not gonna order a freaking Doncic jersey till he changes that freaking number.
I don't think he's gonna change the number, bro. I think like when Dirk took 41. To be fair, this is me trying to make the argument. When people took 41, no one was really feeling 41. Who had been 41 before Dirk?
Well, Dirk chose
he flipped
that number.
14. I know what he did.
Dirk chose that number in a day where it was normal for big men to have big numbers.
Yeah.
People were still rocking with 50s.
So why can't Doncic say, hey, I could play point guard. That's presumably a little man position. I'm going to be a super big number to be against the trend.
Bro, he's wearing an offensive lineman's number, bro.
Who is 77 for
That's actually...
I'm trying to think of 77.
That's
Tyrone? Yeah, Tyrone Crawford. Not Crawford. What the shit? Tyron Smith, yeah.
That's our dude.
Yeah. Doncic, yes. Doncic will be a huge impact player for the Mavericks immediately, I think. Sorry, his mom came on screen. I do think it's going to take him a little time to really round into form, but I think he is a big step in the right direction. Now, I don't know what this is. Now, what I was talking about at one point was... What I was talking about at one point was the possibility of being able to get the Memphis number 4 pick. And as I said then, Memphis didn't even end up trading that pick because eventually they had Josh... Was it Josh Jackson? No.
Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson, that's what I meant. I was like, Josh Jackson, that's not right. Nope. Jaren Jackson eventually came out and said that he was willing to consider... It was like the day of the draft. He said like he was willing to go to Memphis, and they're like, oh, never mind, change it. We're happy. We're happy. And so, yeah, that went out the window. But even if it hadn't gone out the window, Dallas no longer had the best offer because you had teams like New York, because what you were hearing was that they wanted Wendell Carter. Memphis wanted Wendell Carter. And
they should have wanted him at 4.
Yes. And they could have dealt to get Chandler Parsons to New York, the Knicks, and in the process have kept a top 10 pick where they thought they could get Wendell Carter. That was a better deal. So Dallas was out of the running of that fairly early on. Before draft day, they were already out on that topic. I had a couple of people ask me about that, so I wanted to address it here.
Cool. That stinks. I wanted to trade back into 14, try to get Denver's pick to get Michael Porter. Didn't happen though.
Yeah. Now, Michael, if they had somehow swung Michael Porter as well at 14 when they saw him fall there, I would have been ecstatic. But I think Dallas really does believe, like, okay, we got our 2 guys. We got Smith Jr. and we got Luka Doncic.
Nah, man.
We're done. Like
no more talent.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding, because when Carlisle was asked at the presser about it, like, oh, how do you feel about trading that number 1 next year? His answer was like, We're trying to win now. I'm not worried about next year.
Oh, wow.
That was his answer in the press conference. They don't care moving forward because they're like, okay, we sucked for a couple years. We got 2 very good players. I want to move forward.
How do you feel about that? Because I actually have an opinion.
Do I think they need at least 1 more year of being in the lottery? Yes. Yeah. Yes, I think they do. But
I think they need more.
I think Carlisle doesn't. I don't think Carlisle's built that way. He's been with us. He's been with us long enough while we were bad. I think he's in the mindset of like, no, we're going to compete now because now we have the guys. We have the horses to do this. I think he likes Harrison Barnes too.
He does.
And I think he looks at that and he says, okay, we got 3 guys.
Defense.
We got 3 guys for the foundation moving forward. Figure it out around that. Presumably get me a center as well.
Your opinion on that?
Yo, no, that's totally my opinion.
That's your opinion?
I literally said I think.
You
I
think?
led that whole thing off with I think.
I don't like it. I mean, I like the
How
pick.
dare you question Rick Carlisle channeled by me.
All right, so here's my reasons for not liking it. We didn't actually start rebuilding up until about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When we picked up Dennis, I still don't even think we officially started a rebuild. We're trying to get back into the playoffs next year. And you know what? Who knows? We might do it with free agency and by having a great coach like Rick Carlisle get the most out of his players.
Barnes
like
is
that.
just okay.
Yeah, he's.
I agree with that 100%. I just said Carlisle likes him.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I get where you're coming from because basically where you're coming from is this is what they think. So there's nothing you can do about it. We need to lose more because I'm not trying to have us just be good for a year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I want us to be the next team to step up when Warriors eventually go down, when Houston eventually crumbles, when the Cavs, they're basically about to crumble, and the Celtics are probably not going to crumble, but they're going to be the team in the East.
Yeah, you're wanting to catch teams like Golden State on the descent.
I felt like we needed to invest more time in team building with young players.
It is real DDP.
That's funny.
All right, that nickname might be going away.
He only followed you just so he could contact you. Hey man, get my name. Hey man,
It's all out of paying homage to the one true DDP.
But anyway, yeah. We're not. Harrison Barnes is good. Harrison Barnes is not our star. To win in this league, you need stars. And if Harrison Barnes is your 3rd guy, you're probably not going to win.
If he's your 3rd guy?
If he's your 3rd guy,
he's 26 because presumably he could continue getting better.
He's heading
into
27, 28. That's probably when your prime begins.
Yes,
and he hasn't averaged 20 points a game.
But if he's your 3rd, he doesn't need to average 20. He needs to average about what he's averaging.
True, but no. But the thing is, he was averaging 19 points a game with a team that had no offensive creators on it.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, he's young.
But he was also, you got to also keep in mind, he was spoon-fed shots for the early part of his career where all he had to do was spot up for 3. Creating his own shot wasn't really a thing.
Does that hurt his development? Probably so.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not plugging him from where he came from. To be like, yo, dude, you're gonna be the man down here.
Yeah, Tatum from the Celtics isn't happening.
Oh man, if he can trade him for Tatum and give him all the 1st-round picks,
yeah,
for the next 5 years. I know it can't be done, but let's override that one. Just do a 2K trade override, and we'll do it. But
if he's your 3rd or 4th, you can be a real contender. If he's your 3rd is borderline to me. 4th, yes. If he's your 4th, like he was for Golden State,
yeah,
absolutely. But
probably third because he has gotten better.
Yeah, but you got to have the right guys in front of him. It can't be like guys that are just barely better.
And we don't know.
We don't know yet what the ceiling. We don't know what ceiling will be reached yet for Dennis Smith or Luka.
The projections are good, but we don't know.
Yep.
And I think he's 26, Luka's 19, Dennis is 20. Dennis will be 21 early in the 2nd year.
Yep.
Early in the season. I don't know Luka's birth His February 28th, so he will be 20 towards the
Did
end
you
of the
just
season.
pull a random draft pick's birthday out of thin air?
Yeah. He was born February 28th.
No. I'm fact checking this. I don't accept this that your knowledge is this on point. Son of a bitch. all right. And okay. There you go. And Enyi Nduka is absolutely the NBA man on this channel and on this website.
And Dennis Smith was sometime in September, I think. I'm not quite sure. It was definitely not as...
See if I can get you on this one. Haha, November. You lose.
Whatever. It's September, October, November. I was 2 months off. Anyway, yeah, I like that commercial, by the way. What was I saying with that? Oh, yeah, but they're young, so by the time they're reaching their peak, which is how many years? 6 years from now.
Dude, what I was looking at was you give them, by the time they're hitting the end of their rookie contracts, you got presumably Luka and Dennis Smith hitting, let's say 21 would be like, what, year 3? So when you start talking extension, Mavericks are looking at having over $70 million in cap space as it's projecting right now. Of course, whatever they do in free agency is going to change that number. But right now, you get those guys at that point, you're talking $70 million in cap space. If Dennis Smith and Luka Doncic continue to set the world on fire, you can do anything you want. Co-MVPs for next 12 seasons, give or take. I would take that Jacob Perkins. But
you give or take a couple of seasons,
the
one
future,
or 2 seasons here or there.
The gist is the future is looking quite promising.
It's looking.
I know. Michael Porter was your guy.
It's not looking as good as it could have been. It's looking good for the stand fact that probably in the next 2 years we'll have a playoff team. Okay, so let me give you a hypothetical.
All right.
Would you want in the next 2 years, like you can have one or the other, right? In the next 2 years, we're a playoff contending team, probably, low end A seed, high end 6 seed, maybe 5th if all the cards play right.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you want to invest a couple more losing seasons, right?
Go full Boston?
Went the full, not really say Boston. Let's say we went
76er?
Not full, but like partial 76ers.
Never go full 76er.
Never go full. Like that was like the whole decade of the 2000s, except for the Allen Iversons. Actually, the whole 2010 decade basically was just trash. I don't think Dallas fans could take that. But be where
Maverick. So here's
where the Sixers are, or where like the Golden State Warriors are.
Right. No, I get what you're saying in the hypothetical, but the thing is, and we're getting up against it here on time, but what we're running into at this point is the Mavericks have been bad for 2 years. They had how many years? Like I'm talking like if you want to talk even like the glory window years where they were real contenders, we're talking at least 02 to 2011. I mean, obviously 11.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say that's obviously where it stops.
Third seed that year.
So yeah, you're talking that window of elite contender, with maybe 1 or 2 years where you're like the Antoine Walker.
That was like
Antoine
the whole
Jameson.
90s was building up to that.
Sure. But my point is like the modern era fans aren't used to that because they got to enjoy Dirk and 11 or 12 seasons, whatever it was, of 50 wins a year. And they're not used to this. So these last 2 years have been hell for Maverick fans, and they don't know how to adjust with that. And they're like, dude, you're telling me I got to do 2 more years of this just so we can have a team? Ideally, yes. But will the Mavericks do it? I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think they have the patience.
If they did it in a way that you can see progress and you can see promise.
You want them to lose a bunch of close games.
I wanted like the way people were talking about Golden State Warriors before they were Golden State Warriors were like, bro, like Golden State in the next couple of years, bro, they're going to be a real team. That's because they were showing promise. They were still a fun team to watch. They necessarily weren't winning games, but they were still fun to watch. They weren't making trades like as soon as they drafted I suppose
I should actually ask you how you grade the draft. What letter grade would you give the draft?
I'll give it a solid A, bro. I'll give it an A.
Let me think. So Luka, Jalen Brunson, Little Greek Freak, I know,
Ray Spaulding,
and Spaulding. Yeah. I think an A. An A. So I've officially fulfilled that obligation in my title. I just noticed my title said grading the draft and not like talking about the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. So A minus.
And Mavs free agency, we talked about that. Who are? I mean, if you were to make a prediction, who do you think is going to be on the Mavs?
Guys, go subscribe. Joseph Rojas is his birthday. There you go.
Happy
Give
birthday,
you love,
Rojas.
Joseph.
Rojas.
What was the question you said we already answered?
Your prediction on free agency. Who do you think Mavs are going to get?
My gut tells me Deandre Jordan. I think we're going to have to take 1 year of Deandre just as a stopgap while we get things in order.
I believe so, too.
I think that's probably what we're looking at. But
and by the way,
yep.
So Tankathon has...
Let's hit these quick notes here as we're wrapping up.
Okay, Tankathon also has these predictions on where the Mavs will end up next year.
Yep.
They had the Mavs at 8, so we're losing the pick. But
I saw a projection showing us picking number 5 next year. I was like, wow, you guys don't think very highly before free agency.
I mean, that's all they're going on. But they have 8. Guess who they're picking up? Bull. Manute Bol's young boy. 7'2".
Okay.
Remember that tweet I had a long time ago saying why?
Do you think I memorize every tweet you
Okay. It was like only like my biggest tweet of all time.
Okay. With
but
like 12 retweets.
Nah, son. You have actually I pinned it.
I'm not trying to throw you under the bus. That sounded way more mean than I intended.
But anyway, so the reason why everyone was like, hey, let's draft Mohamed Bamba and stuff like that, and I was like, yo, we have tall, lanky guys come out every year. Jabari is a free agent next year, but he's restricted, and I don't want him. He would be a 4.
Depends on what you think Milwaukee's willing to match. I'd be interested.
Jabari,
I know the
porcelain, bro.
It's the same reason I did the article on him last year, where I said
he's porcelain, bro. He's
yes, I know 2 knee surgeries, same ACL or something like that.
Yeah.
I would be curious, but for what you probably have to pay him, probably not.
Yeah. But yeah, big guys come out every draft, so I felt kind of vindicated of that. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
We can still get our wing guy in this drafted bigs and still get that long prospect that we so wanted. He's 7'2". I don't know if his wingspan's gonna be 6'10". 7'10", but it's whatever. Hey man, but the future is looking good.
Future looks really good for the Mavericks, actually. I think for this draft, they hit it out of the park. Not just in the Doncic pick, which I think was great in my mocks that I was doing. Like, I don't want to say my mocks. I wasn't doing the full thing. When the mock drafts I was sort of not really doing. The only reason I wasn't really discussing Doncic was because I didn't think he was even possible at 5. And he wasn't, obviously. Clearly he wasn't.
He wasn't.
But the reason I wasn't mentioning him much is because I didn't think Dallas was really willing to trade up, or if they did, it would only be to 4, in which case I still thought he would be gone. That's why I only ever pitched it as Porter versus Bamba. And I said I wanted Porter for the higher potential ceiling.
Yeah.
But obviously we saw how that worked out.
Yep.
But yeah, future looks really good for the Mavericks. I like what they're doing. We have a lot that we still got to see to know how they're going to be, and
we can still trade back into the first round next year.
Barnes signed a 4-year deal. Yeah, 4-year, $94 million was his deal, and this is going to be year 3 of Barnes.
And he signed it like 2 years ago.
Glech, go subscribe to my channel. It's not my birthday. Well, at least you're honest.
Only because it's not your birthday.
Yes.
Do you think Mavs keep little Greek Freak?
I think they try.
He will be.
I think he'll be Texas Legends is what their roster is. Yeah.
So go check out a Texas.
They're gonna try and keep him around, but do I think he'll be on the roster this year? No.
Speaking of future, did you hear that the reason why? And this is pretty obvious, but the reason why they drafted Little Greek Freak
was to try and get Giannis 2021.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
reach.
They did. Hopefully. So what we cheer for, guys.
It's the same thing when, before last year, we wanted Drew Holiday, and so we signed his little brother to the G League. Thinking here you go, you could potentially have a reunion. They don't care. They don't care. They're gonna get their money and go play for the best team. Giannis, I'm surprised he signed his extension with Milwaukee. Frankly, he's with them till 2021 now. If we can get Greek Freak and make everything right for passing on him, I would be thrilled. But do I think that'll happen? Not really.
So rookies are very unlikely to pass on the first extension. Are very unlikely. So if we were to get him, it would be when this next deal comes up. But who knows? What we should cheer for is definitely them Milwaukee Bucks not being successful. him tearing it up.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee's not able to make any moves that make him any better. And he gets fed up with them. And we're like, yo, bro, we got your little bro down here. We got money. Give you all the monies. And you can come down here. Hopefully by then he develops a shot.
Yes, it is, Dr. Quiet. 3 years from now. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So
we only addressed it because we drafted his little brother.
Yep.
So yep. We'll see.
Hopefully we can see it.
But anyway, I think that'll wrap up our time for tonight, guys. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Check out the DallasProspect.com as well, your home for Dallas sports and all things pop culture. What are you making?
I make my own championship ring.
All right.
Maxi Briani, straight up. Who says no? Hey.
Very nice. Very nice. But,
that's funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But all right, guys, don't forget to subscribe and check out the website.
And remember, guys, every legend was once a prospect.
Hey, you practiced it. All right, later,
and you're
guys.
dealing with nothing but the best.